on the hand of Kawasaki, then for sure they was happy that I was winning on the opposite side of the world, because for them they had that bad episode, let's say, with Prado, and then on the opposite we was winning.
I met a Gypsy.
How was it for you being the guy that was winning the world championship on the Kawasaki, where you'd won the world championship the year before, and then watch Prado absolutely suck on the Kawasaki, and then be very, I don't know whether, well, I guess he was vocal that he didn't like the bike or that the bike wasn't working for him. But it was a very crazy situation, because we're watching you win the world championship and have this massive success, and then we're watching him say that the bike is terrible and that it's not competitive. And I mean, there was times where I'm pretty sure at the last race he was trying not to qualify, and then they literally gave him a wildcard slot straight into the main event of the last outdoor. But it's like, what was your perspective when you were watching this season? Because you're like, okay, I know we have different equipment, but it's like, this bike is capable.
It's difficult to, like I say, once again, it's difficult to judge because I was not there, and I'm not him. So we can just judge but what we see and from on TV and what we hear. But like I say, I cannot judge like this because it would be wrong. To be like to make that move to US, so you move to US, you gonna ride Supercross that you never did before on a 450 with a new team, new bike. So actually you have nothing common. So for sure it's not going to be easy at the beginning, and he has more chance that it goes wrong than right, So that's the first things. But after it's his decision, he wanted to go. Nobody pushed him to go there. So he takes the pen and he signed the deal. So it's his decision. So for sure it was hard, but I just believe that the bike is good. Like it has been good before. Now we prove that with the KTM he's better, but for sure also because he always rode KTM all his life. So you just know one bike, You just know one bike, and then maybe when he jumped on the Kawasaki the first few times, then he was like, this is something good, because you change bike, you have your problem with KTM before, and then you maybe what he was struggling with KTM at the time, then it was better on the Kawi when he jumped in. Then he was like, yes, you are happy to go, and it's a fresh thing. And
a new girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. So you are like, let's go. It's good. The bike is good and everything, because when you hear him at the beginning when he was with Kawasaki, then he was happy about the bike. He was like, I love the bike. I knew that he tried our bike also in Europe before to go in US. So like I said, nobody pushed him to go. So he has some reason to choose. And after he find that he maybe struggle on something with the bike, which it's possible. I agree completely. It's a little bit the same like when you see like now Jeffrey going with HRC, and then Geyser with Yamaha, then they have their own problem again, it's normal. But now he's back with KTM, he's doing better. That was not a surprise, honestly, because first you have one extra year of learning. You go back to your own bike, the bike that and then for sure he's training with the people of KTM also a little bit differently. So it was, to me, it was for sure it was getting better than what it was with Kawasaki. But on the hand of Kawasaki, then for sure they was happy that I was winning on the opposite side of the world, because for them they had that bad episode, let's say, with Kawasaki, with Prado, and then on the opposite we was winning, which I believe for Kawasaki was good. Yes.
So then we have Chase that has done basically the same thing. So do you think that maybe, like, how important is the team element? Because the team in the US has got a bit of criticism this year. They've had the same management for a long time. They've now had a couple of riders that have gone through the program that have had the same sort of thing. Do you think that it can be the kind of, the team maybe can't make a motorcycle as good as maybe the environment that you guys are in, to where you have this base motorcycle that you have to race, and then you have this group of people that is able to take it and make it so good for a guy like you? Do you think that maybe it just comes down to there's not the right communication and there's not the right environment to get the most out of that?
Yeah, maybe yes, maybe not. Once again, it's difficult to judge, but what I can see from my side, it's like the bike was able to win before, so can be Vilopoto over the years, James Stewart, or even Chad Reed, like he won not on that team but with that bike. So I don't think it's a bike issue or whatever. If you like, now we have the real how to say, like the real view of things, like Suzuki. Ken Roxen, he won this year with the Suzuki, was like 10 years old, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't he has the kickstart, kickstart. He has no electric on the bike, whatever. So I don't think it's coming about the bike, mainly from Kawasaki, because, like I said, the bike have been winning championship before. So I don't think so. But from the team. Maybe. Honestly, I don't know the program they have. Maybe, sure. Sometimes to change the program, it can fit better. But I just believe that a rider like Chase, Sexton, or even Prado, when he was there, they can run their own program where they want to live. Like whatever, if it's Florida or California or whatever, they can do what they want. I think so. And on the bike, after, for sure, they don't have so much help from Japan that we have got, because we are working closely with Japan, and also in our championship we can try everything, do whatever on the bikes as they cannot. So they get a little bit less help, but I just believe it's not coming from the bike only. So it's a little bit hard to judge from that far also. So I just believe, like Chase, he have won some races this year also with the bike. So you cannot win. And when I think he win, he say bike is good, and then be 7 or 8 and say bike is shit. I just it's not my way to work like this. So I think the bike, it's not so for sure it's not bad, and then you just need to get better or to fix your bike. That's it.
Would you let Chase come ride your bike? Maybe you can help him. He should fly over to France and come hang.
Maybe he won't like it. That's the thing. Like everybody is quite different, and we just talk about it. Maybe we like the engine, maybe not. Maybe also that's now that you speak about this, then maybe it's what Prado maybe had. I don't know. I really don't know. So I cannot judge. But if he try our bike and then he thought, it's that bike that he's gonna get in US, no. So maybe that could have played a little bit, not worse, but it's not the same. Like for sure, the frame was maybe different. Many things. So like for sure, engine was not the same because we are doing our engine with Akira, not from US. Electronic also, everything. So if you try the Kawasaki here and you say, this is a good bike, and you go in USA, you don't gonna get this bike there.
I feel like correct me if I'm wrong. I'm interested, but I feel like as far as the motor goes, you guys and the US could really do very similar. Like in terms of the production rule, like are you guys using factory cases and are you guys using parts that they couldn't use in the motor?
In US, compare Europe. Like frame, also frame with
the frame is different for sure.
We in the past and now we ride with a stock frame but modified.
Yep.
So this is one thing that they are not allowed to do it, and engine for sure because also I think they cannot change something on the engine can be the I don't remember like it influe on the airbox or something like this. So power for sure we don't have the for sure the engine is completely different.
Okay.
And electronics also because electronics we use so with our tuner and it's not the one that they use in US. So electronic it's quite complex on our bike.
Yeah, you use Akira.
Yes.
Which is
it's
the
a Motec.
Yeah.
Akira is doing like Akira it's the company who does the engine and then they use Motec. Motec it's
which is the
brand of it's Aussie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think
I
so.
know that they use Motec in all the trophy trucks.
Yeah,
so all the
I think
Baja
it's
trucks and
from
stuff.
Aussie, yeah. So it's not the best.
That's awesome. Well, the last 2 years it's been the best.
Just joking, but it's why like they don't have the same bike as us, and it's always like you don't gonna build a new bike completely, but it's all like in there a little bit that makes a big things, big change, like always now we say it like when we test we don't gonna rebuild the bike, but just if we can gain a little bit in there like few percent, then it's good, we are happy. It's not like you don't gonna be like day and night difference,
Yeah. You just finished watching a clip from the full 3-hour podcast. You're on our Clips channel. The full podcast live on the Gypsy Tales podcast channel. It's linked right here. Go over to that channel, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and make sure you never miss a full episode of the Gypsy Tales podcast. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you want to watch it on the go, you can also head to our iTunes or Spotify to get the full 3-hour podcast in audio format.
I met a gypsy.